Hello and welcome to the Scoop podcast, the women's cricket podcast that goes beyond the scoreboard. I'm Rana Hussain and we have an ODI series between Australia and India that is complete. Australia were clinical, Alyssa Healy signed off in outrageous style, and now 4 points sit on the line at the Wacker. We'll break down the dominance, what it means heading into the test and whether India can claw this series back. Plus, coming up very shortly, Australian quick Maitlan Brown joins us. But as always, every week, this woman joins us. It is, of course, Molly Strano, who frankly has done this podcast to make sure that she can catch up with all her mates. Hello, Molly.
Hey, Rana, and that's a lovely segue because I do have one of my mates on this episode. We're going to speak to Maitlan Brown, who's been freshly drafted into the Australian Test squad, which is super exciting, and she is one of the coolest chicks in women's domestic cricket. So I'm very excited to chat to her, and I'm sure she'll have a barrel of laughs for us and a few insights for us, which is really cool.
I know, I cannot wait. I'm dying to know how she's feeling about joining the squad and later in the piece as well. Have you had a good cricketing week though, Molly?
I've had a fantastic cricketing week because there's been 3 ODIs this week. So that was really cool to watch. The Australian team were completely dominant. Outstanding to watch. Alyssa Healy, she had a bit of a fairy tale finish to her ODI career, and that was outstanding to watch. But yeah, so for a cricket tragic like me, I've had a fantastic week because I've had a lot of Australian cricket to watch.
I know, me too. It's been thrilling. And because of that, we have a huge show for you today. Of course, we unpack the ODI series. We're going to look ahead to the test at the Wacker. And we've also got some listener questions. I'm so thrilled. I can't wait to get stuck into those. But stick with us after the break because we are, in fact, going to talk to Maitlan Brown. Don't go away. All right, well, our guest for today has been a consistent presence in the Australian pace attack and now finds herself preparing for a test at the Wacker with 4 points on the line. She brings aggression, skill, serious pace and an amazing Austin Powers impression. Welcome to the show, Maitlan Brown.
Look, thanks for having me, guys. Molly, loving the shirt. I was saying before, it's very Austin Powers core. Love it.
I have no response for that, Rana.
This is okay.
I'm going to take it as a compliment, though.
It was absolutely a compliment for you. No, let's do some serious cricket chat now, Maitlan, which I feel like is going to be really difficult with you, but let's try anyway. Congratulations on making the squad. How exciting has it been for you?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been so exciting. Getting the phone call, when I saw Sean Flegler's name pop up on my phone, there was always, I know there's something going on when Flex calls, and I was actually about to have breakfast with a couple of really good friends, and so it was pretty cool to be able to, leak the news to them early, but to kind of, celebrate that with them. And yeah, it's just so nice to feel like all my hard work is really paying off, and I'm super proud. And yeah, if I play or not, I think it's an awesome opportunity regardless. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be back in and amongst the group.
You coming in for the test match, how different is that prep-wise from prepping for an ODI or WNCL?
It's different in the sense, I guess, obviously you have to do it for 4 days, so the workload is pretty intense. But I was told before this tour that I was on standby, so I've been kind of training and making sure that my loads are pretty high just in case I ended up getting the call up. So lucky I kept the loads up. I just kind of have to go into this test match backing all the physical prep that I've done in the preseason and then this season as well. I think the fact that I haven't had any injuries, I think, is a testament to that, to setting that foundation. I think that was probably the key for me this year, was really pushing the limits in the preseason and lifting until I cried, basically. I think coming into this test match, I guess from a physical standpoint, I'm feeling really good. I guess in terms of tactics, obviously it's pretty different to WNCL. You've got 4 days to kind of settle in. So I'll be definitely leaning on the girls if I play, obviously leaning on the girls with experience. I guess it just kind of keep it pretty simple and keep stumps in play and just compete as hard as possible.
Mato, I just want to talk about more so the shorter format of the game. You had an outstanding start to the season in the Spring Challenge where you won Player of the Tournament. How much confidence did you take from that leading into the season, the Australian domestic summer?
honestly, I think that really made such an impact on me. I think being able to come into a tournament ready and firing and like I said, feeling like I've come off a really good preseason just gave me so much confidence to honestly just send it. I think like the biggest thing for me this year was I had a conversation. I've probably spoken to other people on podcasts about this, but I had a conversation with our coach, Pete Clark, about not limiting myself and just allowing myself to, potentially extract the best cricketer I've ever been. And I think that just kept it plain and simple for me. And being able to go into a tournament like that where there was no pressure to be a past version of myself, and just kind of be free and play with freedom. I think, honestly, just paid off. But it definitely made an impact.
It sounds like you're, releasing the shackles, but you are putting a little bit of pressure on yourself because you do want to be the fastest bowler in Australia. I mean, take us into that. Is that actually a goal that you've set for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, I've been lifting till I cry, and I've just been trying to send it at training. And yeah, I mean, if I get the chance to unleash at the WACA, I'm really excited to see what potential I could unlock, because I'm feeling really driven. And I would love to see what the radar spits out. But yeah, even still at the moment, like I feel like I'm quite competitive with my pace and. It's just been a few technical cues, but it's also just been a mix of that and intensity and a little bit of caffeine as well to help me get fired up. So I made sure I brought the Rebbies over west.
Speaking of the WACA then, like what does that offer a quick like you? Is it a unique place to bowl?
Yeah, I think the WACA traditionally has always been a bit of a pace bowling realm. But I think recently there's actually been a bit of spin and bounce in it as well. So it kind of offers a little bit of everything. I think what would be really cool is if I did end up playing and debuting. It's actually where I made my very first debut when I played for ACT back in the day. So it would be a pretty weird full circle moment. And yeah, even honestly, just like I said, being able to be here, a part of the squad, is an awesome opportunity. And yeah, it's kind of made me go back to 10 years ago, thinking about when I first traveled over. I remember that was like the light bulb moment for me where it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can play cricket as a career. Like I think I was like, I remember screenshotting my first like food allowance thinking like that, oh my God, I'm getting paid to play cricket on a trip like this. So for it to come full circle and be able to reflect, I guess, on my career as a whole has been, it's been cool.
Well, speaking of which, if there are little ears listening to this who are hoping one day to be a fast bowler, what does it actually take to develop that skill?
A lot of patience and hard work and a lot of tinkering as well, I reckon. I've been so fortunate that I've been able to work with so many different coaches and, you always take little bits and pieces and, it's not one size fits all. I think it's really important to explore different ideas, but then notice like what works for you and then kind of follow that rather than trying to do everything all at once. Just be like really in tune with where you are in your body as well, like what feels good. And then, like I said, I think setting a really strong foundation. I think fast bowling is such a weird thing to do. So being able to feel confident with your body physically means, lifting weights, running, grinding it out in the preseason. I think that's like such a big thing. And knowing that, you're able to support yourself when it comes time to send it. And then, little bits and pieces as well, like run up, rhythm. Fast bowling is it's very individualized. So it's kind of working out what works for you and then kind of following that and seeing how you can stretch it.
Mado, you said it's really cool to link up with the Australian team, and there has been a little hiatus since you were with the Australian team last on tour. How's the feel around the group at the moment with everybody knowing that it's Elise's last test match upcoming? Are emotions heightened? Have you got a sense of how the girls are feeling and how the extended squad is feeling with the staff as well leading into this last match for Midge?
Well, I just touched down in Perth, so I haven't been able to get amongst the group, but I would imagine that, it looks like the girls are having a lot of fun. Like I watched Midge's press conference from the game and she looked like she was just really enjoying it. So I think there's probably going to be that sense of presence and enjoyment. And I'm really looking forward to being a part of that. And Elisa's been such a role model throughout my whole career, and to be there for her last game is really special.
You've just mentioned that you've just touched down in Perth, so you're about to join the team and actually be amongst them all. What do you do when you're coming into the squad like that? Like, is there anything you do to kind of make sure you're getting up to speed? Are there any kind of rituals around joining the squad at a later time?
Not gonna lie, I felt a little bit anxious, like coming off the plane and then walking into the hotel. I feel like there's always those, first arrival nerves when it comes to joining a group. But yeah, I'm super lucky. I've got some familiar faces. Obviously, I play with a lot of them in Big Bash and having been a part of the squad. So we've got. Well, I'm going to go hang out with the gals of Sabo, which is nice. I got invite to go to the movies and do a bit of recovery. So that's a nice soft launch for the
What are you
relationship.
watching? What movie are you watching?
We're going to go watch Hemnet.
Oh,
So,
I think pack your tissues.
I get really distracted by the symbolism as well. So I need to focus on the storyline. And then we've got training tomorrow, meetings. I think there's probably a bit of a hit out, but I think training's usually when you kind of can get established. And I think there's a team dinner as well, maybe Thursday night, which would be cool.
Mate, I know one of your best mates is Georgia Wareham. Did both of you pack your camera? Are you going to relaunch the joint Instagram page with some of your flicks?
Shout out Brown Wolf Media. Blast from the past. I actually didn't. I was going to, but then I thought, I feel like I always bring it and then I don't use it. And now you've given me FOMO and I wish I brought it. But I reckon Wolfie's got hers. So we'll just go out together and maybe take some snaps, throw it back.
You've also got a podcast with Hannah Darlington, right? Tell us about that, because aside from, just being an amazing cricketer, you've also got this media career going on.
Yeah, Hannah and I have got a podcast. It's called She's in the Game. And it's basically just about giving a bit of a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like as a female professional cricketer and, being able to tell the stories of our teammates and, just give that behind-the-scenes insight. But we've been on a little bit of a break. There's actually something exciting in the works. I won't give it away yet, but we're still together. New show, new platform, and I think it's going to be a really cool, a really cool piece of content that we're going to bring. But I'm really enjoying exploring the media. You got to have that plan B for when you put your feet up at the end of your career.
You're an absolute natural. I love the idea that you are putting content out there. I think it's so important when it comes to particularly women's sport that we do get to tell all the stories. It doesn't always get the limelight like it should. You also have a YouTube channel, don't you, Mato?
I do. This season during Big Bash, I decided to create a 3-part docu-series throughout Big Bash, and shows a bit of behind the scenes, a bit of storytelling, and something that I'm super proud of. I think being able to bring, as I mentioned before, being able to bring content to young fans and inspire them in different ways, I think is really cool. So to be able to do it in a bit of a cinematic storytelling way, I think it's super inspiring and something I'm really proud of. And if you want to go see it, make sure you check out my YouTube. It's on there. It's called Life of a Professional Cricketer. So enjoy.
So YouTube, Life of a Professional Cricketer. Make sure you are searching for it. When you were growing up as a young cricketer, what were you gravitating towards when it comes to sports stories?
When I was a young girl, I was watching Hannah Montana and That's So Raven and all that. But no, I'm joking. But not really. No, I remember when I first started getting into cricket and being able to, go to underage camps, under 15s, under 16s, things like that. I remember, being able to look up to players like Elise Perry and Elisa Healy. In particular, I was such a big fangirl of Pez. I remember always getting so nervous when I would go to emerging breakers back in the day and be able to train with her. And I think we got a picture together, which was pretty cool. But I think it's so amazing. Like you said, I think, girls putting content out there and being able to tell their own story and connect with fans in their own way, I think is super powerful and really inspiring as well, to be able to reach those young girls wanting to grow up playing sport. And so, it's amazing to see how far the coverage has come from back in the day. And Hannah Montana anniversary coming up as well.
Mato, you mentioned that you were in the Emerging Breakers program. Cricket ACT gave you your first opportunity to play professional cricket, but now you find yourself back at the Breakers. How does it feel being back at your native New South Wales? And the team has been on this amazing run over the last 2 years, and you're about to embark on another WNCL final. How does it feel being back in the? Did you call it the baby blues or the light blues or the sky blues?
Oh, I like the baby blues. I think it's sky blues though. Yeah. Maybe we can rebrand to baby blues, but Oh, I mean, yeah, I love playing for the Breakers. I think there's something special about our group. I think, yeah, we had a rough patch when I first moved from ACT to the Breakers, and it was kind of that rebuilding phase. And now we've really got the group in a good place where I think we just embrace individuality and everyone can just be themselves. And I think being able to go out there and play your own brand of cricket is such a freeing feeling. So being able to support and foster an environment like that is, I think, the key to our success. And yeah, being able to push each other as well. Like I said, lifting till we cry. I wasn't the only one crying. Like, we were all in it together. So I think creating a really strong, hardworking culture has also really added to that. And yeah, we're super excited to be able to, step foot onto the Cricket Central for the home final, and hopefully we can go back to back. But yeah, I mean, I'm just super proud of, like, as I said, the group's growth over the last couple of years. I think being a part of it is super special, and they're like a family.
We're super proud of you. It's been such a joy chatting with you. We're really hoping you get the call up. Molly has been talking about it. We've got everything crossed for you. We are so excited to see what you do. This test, but beyond as well. You're just a natural talent, and we are expecting you to be the fastest bowler in Australia.
Thanks, guys. Love the backing.
Thanks so much for joining us. That was Maitlan Brown. She's hopefully going to make her debut at the test at the WACA coming up. And after this, we are actually going to talk about that test, unpack the ODI series between Oz versus India. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Australia versus India. The ODI series is now done. Australia, far too good, Molly. Before we get into the Aussies, what did you make of India in this series? Have we seen them wobble now?
Yeah, we didn't see the best of them in the one-day format. They were out of the blocks and really dominant in the T20s, but they weren't able to translate that form over into the ODI part of the series. But Australia were almost flawless. They chased twice and chased in a clinical fashion. Both games they had at least 10 overs in the bank still to spare. And when they had the opportunity to bat first, they put 400 on the board, which is outstanding. So, yeah, the Aussies were clinical, dominant, and I think they probably really reviewed the T20 stuff really thoroughly and then moved on to this next format and were, as I said, really dominant.
I feel like I say this all the time, and I'm actually not even sick of saying it. This Australian side, no matter the makeup, and you mentioned it at the top of the show that it's got such depth, but also when they falter, they find a way. Maybe it's mindset, it's probably leadership as well. They find a way to go, okay, where do we need to course correct? Let's do that. And then they do. Like, there's just absolutely, I don't know, like there's just something about the way, it's not just the makeup of the side, but it's also the way they go about their cricket that means they bounce back even when it's difficult.
Yeah, I think that's a sign of a really good team. They don't stay down for long and they're able to find bits and pieces of things that they need to slightly improve, and that will be led by Shali Nitschke, who's the head coach. They have so many wonderful senior players in that team that they will be having conversations with their peers, with the junior players, working out how they can all be on the same page and work out a method that's going to be successful for them. So, yeah, hats off to the Australian team. They were outstanding in the one-day format, and it really makes you excited for the test match now. The format is getting longer and longer as the series progresses. We're playing at the WACA, which is a happy hunting ground for the Australians as well. So I'm very, very excited for the test. The Indians will want to win because they'll want to tie up the series. They won't want Australia to run away with the series with a massive lead in the points section. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. And I was really excited about the debutante that we had in this format as well.
Oh, my God. Let's talk about Lucy Hamilton making her ODI debut. What a delight she was in this match.
I was so excited for Luce. I was very lucky maybe 2 years ago that I met Lucy. I was coaching in an under-19s Aussie camp, and there's sometimes when you meet a younger player, and it's not too dissimilar when I remember meeting Annabelle Sutherland for the first time, when you're like, okay, this kid is something else. Like, it's not only the way she conducted herself on the field. She had a great skill set 2 years ago when she was the tender age of 17, 16. She had a wonderful skill set with the ball and bat, but she had these leadership capabilities as well. And you watched all the other junior players around her follow her lead. She set the example. She led by example. And yeah, I was really excited to see her make her debut. And I find it really, as I said, I get pumped when people make their ODI debut because you just don't see many debutants in the Australian team. I was looking at some numbers and having a look at the history list here, and since 2023, there's only been 2 debutantes. So that's been Georgia Wareham and now Lucy Hamilton, the 2 Queenslanders. So it's few and far between, and they don't hand out caps really easily in the Australian team. So that was a really special moment for Luce. It was great to see her family there, and how cool to receive her cap from Elisa Healy, who was playing her last match, handing it over to the newest kid on the block. So there was lots of nice feels, and that last game was, as I said, pretty much flawless for the Australians, but there were so many nice little undertones towards that game as well.
Yeah, there were so many storylines, and it really did feel like a changing of the guard with Healy's last ever ODI, Lucy Hamilton's first, and that literal, that's such symbolic handing over of the cap. It was beautiful. Some of us welled up, I'm not going to lie. But let's talk about Alyssa Healy. I loved hearing some of her reflections post-match.
We'll talk about the team in a minute, but we need to spend a minute talking about you. Not many retiring elite athletes get a fairy tale, but did today feel pretty close?
I just think what a ridiculous sport we play, that it can kick you down so many times and then give you opportunities like it has today. I've hated every milestone match, so today was just sort of an opportunity to go out and enjoy it, and it was one of the more enjoyable experiences I've had. So thanks to the cricket gods for that. And that's a nice way to sign off in the yellow.
The cricket gods really did shine down on her. What does that innings, where does that innings actually sit for you? Because what we saw was pretty special.
Well, it goes down in the history books. That's the highest total ever by an Australian on home soil here in Australia. So she ticked that off in her last match. And I don't know, there was just so many nice little touches to that game for Elisa. The cricket gods were definitely looking over her, and deservingly so. Player of the match, down in the history books for the highest ever total for an Australian woman on Australian soil. The thing that I love, she gave herself 2 party time overs there in the second innings. She was cheeky in the presser after the game. Her husband was commentating, so there is a nice little connection point there. And she also made a reference to a post-game beer. So for Midge, she pretty much ticked off everything that she loves, and it was just so cool.
It was like the Stations of the Cross of Midge, the Stations of Midge, everything that we love about her, we got a little bit of in this game. I did love listening to the commentary when she took the ball at one point, decided, I'm going to have a bowl as well, gets hit for a 4, and then just silence in the commentary box, and then you just hear Midge start going, see, it's not actually that easy, is it? I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, I found it quite comical, and I was like, I wonder what she's actually going to bowl here. Is she going to bowl spin, or is she going to try to channel Mitch and try to bowl as fast as possible? But yeah, she just bowled a few little junk time offies, which a lot of people say when you can't bowl, just bowl off spin, which I find quite offensive. But it was really cool to see. She ever the cheeky Midge, of course she was going to give herself a couple of overs, and you know what? She deserves it because she helped put 400 on the board, so she deserved to roll the arm over for a couple of balls.
Honestly, as a bowler, how do you bowl to that when you see a batter clearly just in their strike zone? And she was just going for it at one point. What do you actually do?
Yeah, I've got a really cool stat here. From 101 to 150, she faced 16 deliveries without facing a dot ball. So it's really hard. It's when someone's in flow state like that and essentially has cheat mode on, there's actually no answer. When people are having a day out like that, sometimes you just got to tip your hat, and you can try different things, but they always seem to have an answer. And it was really cool for Midge to be able to have that opportunity to get into a really cool flow state in her last match of ODI cricket for Australia.
We sound like absolute fangirls, and I would love to take a critical eye to Alyssa Healy, but there actually just isn't anything. She's actually, over a significant period of time, led superbly. She's galvanised the side. She's delivered when she's needed to. And then even down to her last ODI put on a complete show. She's just has been the full package, and I'm thrilled that we'll actually get to see heaps more of her. Like, she's not going to go anywhere. We'll get her in the commentary box. But it is just a moment, absolutely, and it feels like she deserves all the accolades.
Yeah, and not too dissimilar what we mentioned about Elise Perry as well. It's not only the feats on the field, but it's everything she's done to help promote the women's game, grow the women's game, and it's people like her that, you know, for people like me, she's allowed me to be in the position that I am today by pioneering for the women's game and helping push things forward. So Midge has been huge for that. But yeah, her record speaks for itself. And the numbers are outstanding. She scored 8 ODI tons. That's equal with Karen Rolton, who's one of the all-time greats. And Meg Lanning's only person ahead of them with 15 ODI tons. And you sort of forget that, like how amazing her record is. And it was only in the second half of her career where she opened the batting as well. For the first half of her career, she was batting lower down and the sole wicketkeeper. But it was sort of when Matthew Mott came on board as coach that he gave Elisa a shot at opening the batting. And I think it was within her first couple of games, once she started opening, that she scored her maiden ton. So she hasn't looked back from that moment. So that all happened a little bit, you know, sort of mid-career. I was going to say late in her Australian career, but it happened probably midway through her Australian career. So for a short period of time at the top, she's had, you know, caused so much damage. So, yeah, it's been awesome to watch.
Lisa Healy, Elisa Healy, if you're listening, come on the show. I mean, I know you're busy, but, like, we'd love to chat to you.
Oh, Midge, you know I'd love you to come on.
I mean, look, that wasn't the final goodbye, though. We're very close to it now. We will see her in this test at the WACA. Let's talk about it. You did mention it before, but 4 points still available for both sides here. I mean, we've got some inclusions as well, so let's talk about those. Maitlan Brown, of course, we've just spoken to her. She's added as well. Hamilton and Treneman. Does this attack suit the WACA?
Yeah, very much so, I think. Maitlan Brown will love bowling at the WACA. She bustles in, bowls fast. She'll get nice bounce, nice carry. Rachel Treneman is one that I want to talk about. I've been lucky enough to share a change room with Strano at the Tassie Tigers and the Hobart Hurricanes, but she is the personification of resilience. She's had 3 major knee surgeries in her time. There was probably a patch there between 2023 and 2025 where she played no cricket. She was full-time rehab. And she's spoken openly about this before, but she had some genuine thoughts about throwing away the game and sort of going down a different path. But since her return at the back end of the WBBL, she played 4 innings for the Tassie Tigers, averaged 93, scored 279 runs. And then this season in the WNCL, 648 runs at an average of 81. Like, those numbers are outstanding, and it's just reward for Strano to get into this test squad. I think the test format is something that would really suit Rach. She's had opportunities at Auss level to play 2-day games, and she's dominated those. But she has this amazing temperament and such a sound technique that I think she is so suited to wearing that baggy green, and I've got my fingers crossed that she does make her debut. But, yeah, massive shout-out to Rach. She's gone through so much in a short, like, she's only young still, but she's gone so much in her short career, and I really hope that she gets a long run at the Australian stuff now.
Okay, so what do you expect, actually? Give me your predictions of what you think we're going to see at this test.
I think we're going to see a triple debutante. I think we're going to see Lucy Hamilton, Maitlan Brown and Rach Treneman all make their debuts.
Oh, I love that.
I'm a massive fan of a debutante, so I'm just going to hand out 3 baggy greens at the WACA. With the injuries that we've had and where the series is placed, I think it's a great opportunity to give 3 people a go and see what they got. So, yeah, that's my wild sort of prediction.
When you say debutante like that, I feel all I want now is like a debutante ball, but it's it's Australian players on debut.
They're not wearing a white frock. They're just receiving a bag of green cap.
Just doing a little dance in their cricket whites. I can't wait. This is going to be huge. I mean, India. What does India now have to do to? I think Australia coming in with such confidence, and with Elisa Healy's final match, there's just going to be so much story and build around it. If you're in the Indian camp right now, what are you doing?
Well, you want to be the party wreckers, don't you? Because you want to ruin Midge's farewell. But it's an interesting one. the test format is a format that female cricketers are least familiar with. We don't play much long format cricket. Throw in another spanner in the works. It's a day-night test. Female players have had less exposure of playing test cricket at night with a pink ball. So I think you sort of there's a bit of cram for the exam sort of situation where both teams will get to Perth. They'll all want to train under lights with the pink ball. And the great thing about the nets there at the Wacker out the back is the conditions are very similar to the pitch out in the middle. So I think the Indian girls will be getting into the nets, trying to become accustomed with the extra bounce that you get at the Wacker, the extra speed that you get at the Wacker, and practicing facing pink balls as well. So as I said, I think both teams will be like rolling their sleeves up and taking this opportunity post the ODIs, pre the test, to get as much training in as they can and just acclimatising to those subtle differences with the changing of your colour of your clothing, the ball that you're going to be using, and the temperament as well.
I did not think about actually all of those tinier kind of micro moments in the change up of the format and what that does. It's all going to unfold in front of us. So much to look forward to. So much to look forward to as well coming up on the show. We're actually about to take your listener questions. Stay tuned after this. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Scoop podcast. We have some listener questions, Molly. I'm so excited about this. We've got some questions come in for you and for me, but I'm going to ask you some questions. And you can, of course, always send us any questions you like. I think Mel Jones had a few as well, just quietly. Mel, hit us up. Let's bring them on. I want to hear them. Don't make them too hard though, please. Molly, Kana has emailed in and is asking, what is the feeling after becoming world champion for the first time?
It's just pure joy. I was really lucky to be involved in one World Cup, which was the really, really special one at the MCG. It's stuff that I probably grew up dreaming about but never thought it would come to fruition, filling out the MCG for a game of female cricket. So stuff like that, it was goosebumps, all the feels, just the joy that it brought the people in the crowd, and then the celebrations in the change room where everybody's family is elated. There's just so much happiness, euphoria, joy, a bit of silliness in the change rooms afterwards as well. So, yeah, it was an amazing moment to be a part of and a day that I'll forever remember.
Oh, gorgeous. I don't know what that's like. Maybe I'll get invited into the change rooms at some point and I can have a little bit of glory from this side. Over to you.
Well, Camille just wanted to give you a bit of a shout out. She said, I'm sorry this is late, but happy birthday, Rana.
Oh,
you
thank
sweetheart.
You. That's so kind.
So what did you get up to, Rana, for your birthday, speaking of?
I actually had a very low-key birthday, but what I did do, some friends decided to ask all the people in my life to send me letters because I am very much a person who loves words, and I just got inundated with the most beautiful letters. It was a milestone birthday and I just got showered with lots of love and attention, which I of course loved. So
that's really sweet.
But thank you so much. That's gorgeous. I've got one for you. Christian asks, is the white ball wide rule broken when it comes to spin bowling? Do spinners need more leeway?
With the way the women's game is evolving, I would love a little bit more wriggle room. Push those wide lines out further. Give me a little bit more room to bowl at. But yeah, it is. It's tricky. You obviously can't bowl down leg side, and you don't have much room to miss if you're trying to bowl wide on the offside and not get whacked to the leg side. So I would love a little bit more wriggle room with the wide line. And I'm here for an extra fielder out as well. I think it's about time the women's game goes to 5 fielders out rather than 4. So there's...
Yes, I love this.
You can tell I'm a defensive bowler. I just feel like the game's evolved a lot. We're playing on really good grounds, fast outfields, good wickets. I think it's about time the bowlers get a little bit more support.
Can we get you on the board of Cricket Australia or something?
I would love to.
Change. All right, Todd Greenberg, give us a call. What have you got?
Here's a great question, actually. If you could swap spots with any cricketer past or present, who would it be?
It's so hard. That's unbelievably tough, a question to ask a woman who has zero athletic ability because frankly, any cricketer I would swap spots with. Look, my honest answer, like the name that came to mind was Mel Jones. I've followed her career. I've loved her for so long. I've also loved what she's done post-career. I think she just quietly went about her business, but lit up the field every time she was on it. So I'm going to say Mel.
Oh, I love Mel too. She's been a long-term coach of mine, mentor, best mate. So here.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Mel Jones. We're a big fan of yours. Send your questions in next week, Jonesy. I'm actually a little bit scared because you could probably leave me a little bit exposed. So be nice.
Send them. We want them. Loretta is asking you, Molly, is 31 too old to get back into playing cricket?
Oh, no way. I'm only 33 and I'm still rolling the arm over. So if I can do it, you can do it. No, I think the great thing about cricket is when you drive around Melbourne on a weekend, you see all ages playing. You see the young kids at entry level and you see some of the more senior athletes rolling around at community cricket. So I don't think age is a barrier for cricket. It's a nice sport where if you take it at your own speed, it's not too taxing on your body. So hell yes to 31.
Yeah.
Continue on.
As long as you're safe and you're having fun, go for it. I'm going to take up cricket. I've watched it from the sidelines for so long. I actually do think I need to join a club. If there's a club out there that wants the likes of Rana Hussain, I don't know. I'm really worried that I just aired this now. Hit me up. I actually am interested in trying. Be careful what you wish for.
We'll have a scoop net before your first game, so I'll get you ready and we'll get your eye in.
Can we go to the Nets one day, please?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. All right. I digress. Have you got anything for me?
Yes, I do. What's your favourite moment by our Australian team?
I obviously first go to the T20 World Cup win with Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I was there. It was magnificent. I just loved that was the first time. Like pre-Matildas, like the way the Matildas galvanised a conversation around women's sport, cricket had done that and had been doing that, and that was sort of the culmination of it. And it just put, I think, women's cricket, but also women's sport on this main stage in this country. And then we all got COVID and it was devastating. So I really remember that as like the final kind of throes of a pre-COVID world, but also just what an amazing triumph over adversity story that was for the Australian women's cricket team. They were really battling, actually, and the pressure was on them in every way. And then they, you know what happened. Don't have to tell you. I also think, oh God, I'm going to go way back into my childhood. 1997, Belinda Clark wins the World Cup in India against New Zealand. And I only remember this because I was in grade 6. And I just remember looking at Belinda Clark going, oh my God, what a woman. I think she made, I don't know what she made. I should Google that. Something like 50 runs. I just remember being an Indian Australian girl. It was like, these are women, Australian women playing in India, my home country, and smashing it. And it just was one of those formative cricket memories for me of, oh my God, I love this so much. So that's probably 2 that come to mind.
Oh, nice. And it's really cool that BC is still heavily involved in the game. Presently, she runs a leadership program annually. I was lucky enough to do it 3 years ago. And through that program, I was able to meet Belinda and forge a relationship with her. So that was really cool. Linked with the Sydney Thunder. So she's able to impart all the things that she knows and her knowledge on the next generation. And she's just a ripper, BC. So shout out to BC as well.
And not to get too earnest, but I just feel so grateful that we have her and her leadership, and what she's been able to do for women's cricket is just formidable. Okay, I have one last question for you, Molly. Nat asks, if you had to drive from Melbourne to Perth, who do you want in the car with you? I'm assuming she means in the context of Australian cricket, because you might just want your best mate, Maddie or something. Tell us who you'd want from the Australian cricket side.
All right, if I've got a cricket lens on it, first and foremost, I think in the passenger seat next to me, I need someone that's on the maps, diligent, going to keep everybody in line, and that's Rayleigh Thompson. Know her really well through EMP, my club side. There's a crew called Bay 13, and she's in charge of the troops there. They can get a little bit silly at times, but Rails reins them in. So Rails would be sitting next to me as the driver in the passenger seat, directing the way, telling me where to go, keeping me in line. So Rails is there for her leadership ability. And in the back seat, I would have a couple of rat bags in the back seat.
Here we go.
Well, we've been speaking about Mel Jones, but I would chuck Jonesy in the back for DJ duties.
Nice.
Love her tunes. We used to live next door to each other, but since then I moved to Tassie, Jonesy moved to Sydney. So it would just be really nice for us to catch up because during COVID we're in the same bubble, so we're hanging out every day. So I miss you, Jonesy. You'd be in the car to Perth.
Did you
buckle up.
live next door to Mel Jones?
Yeah, we lived in the apartment blocks next to each other. We both lived in Footscray, both 3011 girlies. And she was my best mate during COVID because my family weren't in the same 5K radius as me. So Jonesy and I would literally hang out every day and maybe drank a little bit too much red wine. Anyway.
God, I couldn't think of sorry, I have to stop you there. I couldn't think of a better way to spend lockdown in Melbourne than hanging out with Mel Jones. Like, you are blessed, woman.
We honestly had the best time. We'd go for long walks, we'd have dinner parties. So yeah, Jonesy, and I've known Jonesy since I was 13 down at EMP, and she's been a bit of a mentor for me ever since I was a little pup, and she's helped me, grow and develop into the cricketer and the person I am today. So I'm hugely indebted to Jonesy and the relationship and the impact that she's had on me as a person. So I miss her, so that's why she's in the car. And then the other person in the back seat, I'm going to have Charlotte Edwards in the back seat, former England skipper. I've played under Charlotte once. I was over at the Southern Brave in the 100, and some of her bus karaoke is the best sort of karaoke standard I have ever seen. So I've got the two rat bags in the back. I've got Lottie karaoke abilities, banter, a bit of, English influence as well. I don't want it to be too Australian-centric. Then we've got Jonesy in the back, DJing at times, talking dross. And then we've got Rails keeping us all aligned on the road.
Of course.
The wheels moving forward and not driving in the wrong direction. So they're my three.
I love that so much. What a drive to Perth. Before we wrap up, quick fire for you. I've given you no notice, but I'm just going to ask you. No, it's super easy. Hardest player to bowl right now?
Elise Perry.
Best cricket superstition?
Meg Lanning. When she marks centre with her spike, she's got to do it 9 times.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if she still rolls with it anymore, but I think I saw it at training this morning because I was getting ready to bowl to her and I was like, any minute now? Any minute now? 9, 8, 7. So, yeah, I think Meg etching centre 9 times in a row, and Elise Perry's Australian helmet too. That's I feel like she's got a lot of superstition with that. She's very connected to that old Missouri. So I think them two are got a few habits that they might need to break out of as well.
You're on notice. One last one. One bowler from history you'd want to face?
Rayleigh Thompson. I've spoken to Rail so much about her skill set. She's got a long wingspan, and she was telling me that she bowled close to 120 kilometres, so I'd be frightened. But I would have loved to face Rails in her heyday, and she would have just got me out for fun. So it's either her or Catherine Fitzpatrick as well. I would have loved to face Fitzy, hugely competitive, fast. So I'd be fully padded up. I'd have the arm guard, rib guard, all of that sort of jazz. But if I could have 2 people come in and run into me and bowl, it would be Rails and Fitzy.
I love it. I love every bit of it. You can send your questions in to both of us at Instagram. You can DM us on Instagram. I'm at Rana B. Hussain and you are at Molly Strano. Mm-hmm. Send us your questions. We love to hear them, especially you, Mel Jones. We will be back after this. We're going to go around the grounds. All right, it is time to go around the grounds and get all the news of women's cricket around the country. We're looking ahead, actually, to start with. Let's talk about this Windies tour, Molly. What's the latest?
Well, it was originally meant to be a multi-format series where you play 3 T20s, 3 ODIs and a test match. But unfortunately, the test match has been scrapped, which is really disappointing because it would have been the first time since 1976 that the Windies had played Australia. So that would have been a really landmark moment. But unfortunately—
Do you know why?
I think the citing was that both teams wanted to prioritise white ball readiness before the World Cup later in the year, which makes sense when you got a major tournament and a world tournament on the horizon. So hopefully they'll be able to circle back and play the Windies at some point in a test match in the near future. But at the minute, it's a 3 T20, 3 ODI series.
Is it the right call?
Oh, good question. I would have liked to see a test match. I think that would have been really cool. It's been a while since the Windies have partaken in a test match, so it would have been really nice for the Windies girls to have the opportunity to pull on the whites. But yeah, with a World Cup on the horizon, it's probably makes sense to focus on sort of white ball cricket more so. So yeah, there's the 3 T20s which are first up. They're in St. Vincent, and then there's 3 ODIs in St. Kitts. So really exciting time. They're the Windy team is going from strength to strength. They got some players playing really well around the world in, domestic competitions around the globe. So it should be a really good contest.
I know. I get the business reason why women's cricket doesn't see as much Test cricket. I do get it, but boy, I'd love to see it. I really love the format, and I love it when we get to see the women play it. But anyway, it is what it is. On to the WNCL now, though, and the race is really tightening up, isn't it?
Yeah, this last round is red hot. So as we said last week, New South Wales locked in, 10 wins, home final, happy days. However, we're really unsure who's going to be going to Cricket Central to play Cricket New South Wales because we have Queensland, WA and SA. They're all on 6 wins apiece. So there's only 2, every team, has 2 games left against the same state. So you have Queensland up against the mighty Victorians, WA v ACT and South Australia playing New South Wales. So it's going to be a real hot race for that final position, that second posie on the ladder. So all those teams will be looking to not only win, but if they have the opportunity to win with a bonus point as well, because that might give them the opportunity to leapfrog each other. So SA have a pretty tough assignment. They have to play New South Wales twice. WA are playing ACT, who have had a really good season this year, so it might be really hard to pinch the bonus point off them. And then Queensland are coming up against a Victorian team that hasn't had a great season. So anything could happen here, Rana. So I'm really excited to see how things pan out. And the only thing that makes me a little bit sad is that there's not a top 4 because the WNCL is a competition that, 12 games all season. It would be really nice to see all those 4 teams rewarded with a finals opportunity. It could even be a top 3 if the team that on top finishes goes straight to the final and then 2 and 3 play off for a position in the grand final. But I'll just love to see the finals race for WNCL be more than just a top 2 finish, just so you can reward teams that have played really well throughout the year and give them the opportunity to play a final as well.
Does it change how you play, do you think?
Well, yeah, it's really hard for teams because when there's only a top 2, you sort of probably can't experiment as much with your playing 11. You sort of have to go in, and make sure you win every single game and win really well without probably giving yourself an opportunity to potentially blood some players. And not that I'm saying that you're not trying to win, but you probably have to stick with your defined 11 and try to really dominate where I guess in other competitions we see in the WBBL there's a top 4. Yeah. So it gives you the opportunity also if you have a little lean patch to be able to bounce back and still be really optimistic about playing finals because in the WNCL at the minute, if you don't get off to a red hot start and you lose your first couple of games before the Big Bash, you almost sort of know that your season's done. So yeah, if I could make one change to the competition, it would be to introduce a final series. But in saying that, when you've got a top 2, the best 2 teams are in the final. So yeah, New South Wales are eagerly awaiting to see who wins over the next sort of week or so and who they're going to be preparing and playing against in the final.
I love the intensity it does make for a very, very exciting finish, especially when bonus points could decide it. It's kind of thrilling. Let's go international again, though, and New Zealand are really flexing their muscles with the clean sweep.
Yeah, they've come up against Zimbabwe at home and the White Ferns have been completely dominant. Big shout out to Mealy Kerr. This is her first assignment as the full-time captain and she's completely dominated. She won player of the series and in the first game of that series, she hit her first ever T20 100. So Mealy's in sparkling form. So that's a really ominous side for teams around the world with the World Cup upcoming. And yeah, the White Ferns are looking really good. They're going over to England in the T20 World Cup to defend their title as well. So they're hitting form at the right time. And yeah, they're playing some really good cricket.
I'm really excited to see her at the World Cup because I feel like she's becoming one of the most complete players in the world. I actually think she's the full package and it's going to be thrilling actually.
Sometimes you forget how young Mealy is because she debuted at the age of 15 or 16 or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, she's one of the best all-rounders in the world and it's testament to when there's an auction or anything like that in domestic franchise competition that she's always, one of the first 1 or 2 or 3 people that are taken at a draft or an auction. So that's really exciting for her. And all eyes are on the 100 auction now too. That's upcoming soon. That's next week. So there's already a few Aussies that are already linked to teams prior to the auction, but there's a huge amount of Australian names on that list ready for the auction next week. So I'll be eagerly awaiting to see where people end up and working out which team I want to cheer for.
No, who are we going for? I actually can't decide.
Whatever team has the most Aussies in it.
Is that really how you pick though?
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I've always had a soft spot for the Trent Rockets because they had a strong link with Cricket Tasmania where we had a few staff and players sort of cross between both those teams. But this year's a bit different. There's all new owners. They've gone to a privatisation model, so everything looks completely different. Players are going to be playing in different colours and there's a lot of moving pieces. So really excited for the auction and to see where people end up at.
I just love that we're having this conversation when it comes to women's cricket, like between the WIPL, this, WBBL, like there's just so much opportunity and we get to see them all play and do their thing. That is it for Around the Grounds, and that is actually it for the show. There was so much actually to get through, the serious and the silly. We've got one final test match, 6th of March to the 9th of March at the Wacker. 4:20 p.m. It does start. It is a day-night. I love a day-night test personally, and so I cannot wait. You can catch it on KO and everywhere else on 7, all the rest of it. What is one thing you're watching heading into this test?
I really don't want to moz this, so I don't even know if I want to make it public, but here I go.
Okay.
I hope Elisa Healy isn't listening to this prior to the test, but her top score in test cricket is 99. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah. Don't say anything else. Yeah. Heard? Yeah. Did you guys, you got that. You got where we're going with that. Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
Yep.
That is it for another episode of The Scoop. Thank you for being here with us. We'll be back again next week with the result.
Yeah, how exciting. The series will be done and dusted by then. We'll be able to unpack everything that happened. And yeah, just really looking forward to the test match. There's going to be a lot of wonderful tributes to Elisa Healy, and we're looking forward to seeing how the test plays out.
That is it. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit us up on the Instagram page and we will see you next week.